Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you see this side over here where you're pointing, James? In other words, that is what we call the alphabet, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the word alphabet. Tell me about the word alphabet. You can volunteer, Kennedy, it's okay.
Um, Alphabet is if you break it down, it's the letter in Greek, alpha and beta, but it's the alphabet which is without the A.
The
And
last A on beta. You drop the last A on beta and you get the word in what we call English alphabet, right? Good. So all it is the first two letters of the Greek alphabet. Right. Now, didn't they teach you that in a public school when you were going? Yes. Well, they never taught, no one's ever taught you that before?
I kind of sort of figured it out on my own.
Well, good. Good. That's a very good thing if you can figure it out on your own. Where did you learn it?
Here.
Good. So now, this is alpha and beta.
Yes, sir.
Alphabet, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That side over there. When you come down that side, how many times do you come down that side? Now the instructions I know is in your reading books and understand. All you have to do is practice reading your reading book between each other. And when you don't understand something, you'll ask questions until you figure it out. But I think it tells you to go down this side on the left twice. It tells you to go down that side once as what? And then once as try it. You want to guess? Try it. I like your reluctance about guessing. All right. Now here's what we're going to do. See the letter in the center? What is the letter in the center?
James, I'm gonna make you set that phone up.
What is the letter in the center of the chart? What is it? What?
A.
Okay, but that A is called a what? That letter A is called a what?
Vowel.
A vowel. Good, good, good. Now the chart is actually a vowel chart. It's a vowel chart. When we go down that side on the left, we go down twice. The first time we call that letter in the center what? You never call it A. You never call it A. Leave at a public school. Anytime that you're around a person, that person says about anything, I don't care what they say, you know that that's a dummy public school, miseducated nut. Now keep your mouth shut, because instead of you explaining to them that they're dumb, if you tell them that you know they're dumb, then you've just given up all the advantage. But if you let them give you the information, you keep the information for your own advantage. Now you know something they don't know, see, because they don't know that they're dummies. All right? There's only two ways that I'm interested in this letter. There's only two ways that me, personally, that I'm interested. What are those two ways? What are the two sounds? Ah
A.
and A. That's the only two sounds you got to worry about. All that little ass stuff, let A take care of itself. You know, in other words, in the neighborhoods that you come out of, the people that you're around, the colloquial vernacular that they actually speak, that is going to allow you to pick up the sounds that they use for words. In other words, I don't want you walking by the pool hall and all of a sudden you say, Taylor, stand up for me. Do what I do. You ready? Father. Louder, girl.
Father.
Father. Good. Now, when you go by the pool hall, don't you dare say father. That won't get it, right? I don't want you to say absolutely. No, 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 no. Why is it that I don't want you around the pool hall talking about absolutely? Why? Why? Why is it that you have to be careful that you make sure that you don't speak other languages when you go around the pool hall?
Well, maybe the community center,
What?
maybe the community center.
The community center. Oh, so they don't go around the pool hall anymore. That's when I was a young person. You went around the pool hall. The pool hall was the community center when I was a young person. But nowadays, the language that they speak in the neighborhoods that you come from, we want to know that language. You know, we want to be able to speak it, but we don't want to use that like in case we get ready to walk onto the campus at Rhodes College. Or we're going to the bank to ask for a $2 million loan. You don't want to go into the bank and ask for a $2 million loan. Say, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I need about $2 million, you know what I'm talking about? What is it? You don't want to do that. I'm telling you, you will not get the money. So, Daniel, you want to explain this? Well, y'all talking about something. Y'all want to tell us what you're talking about?
I have a
What?
question.
Yes,
Do you know when you say you don't say absolutely?
absolutely, yes.
Is there a connection to like the British?
Well, that's good. That's good. Now, understand in the British, when you say the British, what British are you talking about? Let's do it like this before we go any further, based on you asked that question. What kind of English do you speak? What kind of English do you think you speak? Weren't you taught English? You were taught American English. No problem. Who's the father of American English? What's
It
his
has to
name?
be Noah Webster, right?
Noah Webster is considered to be the father of American English. All right, now, prior to American English coming into existence, people were more or less speaking English. Now, when did English come into existence? Oh, hold it, before we go any further. I know some of you probably thinking, that's not important. Why would you think that that's not important? Why would someone think that it's not important to know when English came into existence? What? Why would they want to know?
They probably feel like it's not important.
Why do they think that it's not important?
Nobody ever told us. I guess a lot of people wait to be told that something's important.
So they have to wait to be told that something is important. So right now you have to wait to be told that your neighborhoods are falling apart.
Yep.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Well, English comes into existence when? How would you find out when English came into existence? Brandon? Where's Brandon?
Right here.
How would you usually find out? Wouldn't you answer the telephone?
Yeah, well, I can ask Dr. Black, but are you talking about King Alfred?
I'm speaking about King Alfred. What about King Alfred?
I think that is the 700s.
Not quite, but what happens is that if we actually say that over a 300-year period it develops, and it actually starts out with King Alfred. Someone tell me about King Alfred. Someone tell me about King Alfred.
Now I'll start using
It doesn't
my phone.
resonate with me.
What?
King Alfred doesn't resonate with me.
I understand. Why not? How is it that we're going to school in English-speaking schools, but King Alfred doesn't resonate? Something strange with it. But the thing is that what you're going to understand is there's a reason why there are those that do not want you to understand certain things. Do you have dictionaries in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Well, what could you do with the dictionary that would help you to understand about King Alfred, English? How could you use that dictionary to find out the answers to the questions that I'm asking you?
Look the word.
Look it up how? Look up what word? She said King Alfred. Now this is going to get strange because in some of your dictionaries, you won't be able to look up the name of a person. You won't be able to actually look up things like King so-and-so or whatever. In
English.
some of your dictionaries, you have to go to the back of the book and it'll say geographical names or biographical names. Then you have to learn how to use the dictionaries in different ways so that you can find the information that you're after. How come no one ever taught us these things?
Because they want us disconnected.
Somebody wants us disconnected. But now understand, who wants us disconnected? Because the folks that we would say want us disconnected are not running our schools.
Right.
They're not the teachers teaching the school that you're going to. They're not the ones who are the superintendents of your schools. So now it's going to get real tricky about who it is that might not want you to actually understand. What did you find, darling?
I looked up alpha.
You looked up Alfred?
Alpha.
Okay, good. So you looked up Alpha. So what did you find when you looked up Alpha?
Oh, that's not what you said?
No, I didn't say Alpha. But what did you find when you looked up Alpha?
Greek, Hebrew, Aleph,
Is it Aleph?
Aleph,
Aleph. Aleph is Hebrew. And
the first letter of Greek alphabet.
but it doesn't say in there somewhere literally ox. If you said Aleph, did you go look up Aleph?
No, sir.
You should do that. You should do that. In other words, what is it that's causing us not to actually know how to use that book that you have in front of you? That's a dictionary. Dictionary is one of the most important books that you will ever come into contact with in your life. Why is it that we don't know how to use it?
Only thing they taught us how to do is just look up the word.
Look up what word?
Just words. Then
So if you look up definition 1 for a word, then definition 1 is supposed to be the answer in all the tests that you'll take. And this is strange because when you look up a word in the dictionary, you may have 7 different definitions.
Yep.
So why is definition 1 the one that we're always using for everything? And then we're wondering why we are missing the answer, or we're not getting the correct answer on the test. A lot of times we think we know the definition, but the definition is out of context to the question. No one has bothered to explain this to us. And then we have teachers telling our children to use contextual, what do they call them?
Context clues.
Context clues. Some old nonsense.
Yep.
Why is it that we would submit ourselves to allowing people we're supposed to be relative to learning absolute nonsense? That's not going to win this thing. What did you look up? Did you find
Yes, sir.
what did you find, baby?
It says Hebrew, lit, ox, leader.
Wait a minute, it doesn't say Hebrew lit, it doesn't say that. L-I-T, there should be a period after L-I-T, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, now go to your abbreviation page and find out what that means. Somebody tell her where the abbreviation
Literally.
page, what?
Literally.
How did you find it? Did you find it or did you just figure it out? Or someone told you?
Kind of both.
Kind of both. Ain't that something? Y'all so slick. All right. Literally what, darling? Literally ox. In other words, the word aleph is ox. The word alpha is ox. The word aleph is ox in each one of these different languages. And the picture in the African hieroglyphic is ox. Now, how is it that all of these super conscious Negroes coming all on the internet, how come they don't know any of this? And this is what's so weird. They're repeating different things that they found in old videos and old tapes. I think one of the things is about freedom and liberty, as if they know what I'm talking about. They ain't got a clue to what I'm talking about. And they're lying. And they're lying to these children as if they understand what it is that's being talked about. Last week, I was not here, Brother Adam. I think I'm looking on the site and it says that you went over violence in the Promised Land.
Yes, sir.
Could you bring me up to speed with what happened? If you wish, can you interact with some of them in order to make me understand what y'all covered?
Sure. So last week we tried to introduce people to want to get in and actually read and learn what Dr. Black is showing us with the text "Violence in the Promised Land." And in his methodology, we of course want to take everything as a series of questions so that we move forward and learn more from those
You
questions.
said a series of questions. Now this is weird because I was just on the internet the other day and there was some dumb Negroes on there talking about they were doing critical thinking. And I think they said, if I'm not mistaken, they said that critical thinking is thinking real hard. I'm almost positive that's what they said. You're frowning, Habiba. What?
Yes.
Well, maybe I need to understand, what is critical thinking? Hello? Zulu, what is critical thinking?
When you think critically.
Good, no problem. And I appreciate you for being able to pull those abstracts together. Now, what are you doing when you think critically?
Going into deep thought.
How would you go into deep thought? Give me a method for thinking deeply.
Using your brain.
Well, how? Use your brain how? In other words, I could use my brain to talk about how tall you are, or the fact that you have a hat on that says nerd on it. I could use my brain to do all of that, but is that thinking critically?
Read.
Reading. So reading is thinking critically. You know, you sound like one of those just got out the penitentiary Negroes talking all this nonsense on the internet.
Analyze.
Huh?
Analyzing.
Analyzing. So you said it's analyzing. So what are you doing when you analyze?
You're going beneath the surface, actually.
So good. You're going beneath the surface. So what are you doing when you go beneath the surface?
You find supporting evidence.
I think the word in English, if I'm not mistaken, is you understand. You understand. Now, if I'm not mistaken, what do you see when you look up the word understand?
To stand under.
To stand under. To stand under what?
The concept.
You want to stand under the concept. Now, hold on now. A concept is not going to be matter.
Construct.
A construct, again, is going to be how you bring something together.
You stand under information that you have researched, checked, double checked,
Check it
and
out.
to the point where you know it.
Okay, no problem. So now you did all of that on the surface. And now you're going to stand beneath the surface.
Horizontal.
Horizontal is the surface. The horizontal is the surface. So when you get beneath the surface, now you're looking deeper. But now we have to understand how we're going to do this. What methods are we going to use? In other words, let's say we were going to trace critical thinking. How far back can you trace it?
Based on what you know.
How far back can you trace critical thinking?
Don't know.
Well, you can get in the dictionary, we can find out.
You could open up a dictionary and try to find out that way. What would you look up?
Critique, and then
You
find a
could
root.
look up critique. Now what you're doing is you're going to break the words
Yeah.
by breaking each word. No problem. I'm looking for things like, give me someone in history who is thought of as one of the fathers of critical thinking, even though it was not called critical thinking. Critical thinking did not become a part of the construct relative to the language until 1994. Until 1994. It's a new concept, but it's based on some old thoughts.
People like Plato and Aristotle.
Okay, so when you say people like Plato and Aristotle, what did Plato do? What did Aristotle do? How are they thinking? In other words, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in modern times when they first started developing some concept that they would start calling critical thinking, they were examining the Socratic method. What is the
Socrates.
Socratic method?
Is it a theorem put together by Socrates?
Well,
Socratic.
well, here's the thing. It is said that it was put together by Socrates.
Okay.
And someone actually created a thought around the 1800s when they were creating Western academia that they wanted to actually suggest that this Socratic method of thinking was what led to the original processes that became critical thinking. Okay, so what was Socrates doing when he was actually thinking critically? What was he doing?
Challenging.
Challenging how? Challenging what?
Asking who, what, when, why.
So he was asking questions. Good. So he was asking questions. All right, what kind of questions should you actually ask in order to perform critical thought?
How do you know that? Where did you get that from?
How do you know that? Where did you get it from? These are good questions. Now, at the same time, have you practiced asking yourself those questions?
Practice being in your class.
You practice being in the class.
Having those questions asked to me when I made a statement.
But now I'm asking everyone, are you practicing asking yourself those questions?
Yeah, I'm learning. But certain things are, it was,
Have you gone onto the
Hereditary.
site, have you gone onto the website and looked up thinking? Thinking 1, thinking 2, thinking 3, thinking 4. Have you done this?
no.
You should do that.
We are.
All right, now, Kennedy,
Yes, sir.
have you gone into the site and looked up thinking 1, thinking 2, thinking 3, and thinking 4?
No, sir.
All right. How would you do it? In other words, let's not try to do all 4 tonight, but let's find one. Any one of them that you want to find. Thinking 1, thinking 2, 3, or 4. And read it to us. Yes, now.
Is it in the book or?
On
No.
the site. It's on
No.
the site.
I sign you.
Oh, she got a phone.
Okay. So you know how to go to Red Pill Training?
My phone,
.name.com?
my phone don't show red pill training like that.
Why not?
Why not?
I don't know. I've tried.
Well, would everyone kind of work with
Yeah.
them to figure out how we can do that?
You got it. You got
In
it.
the top right, the series of lines looks like a menu drop down.
Uh-huh.
You click on that, you can
Right.
select the desktop version.
Right.
Okay, that's what I need to do. The desktop.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
It's S-O, Socratic.
Oh, no, we're not looking up Socratic.
No, they just write
Okay.
notes down.
All right, but here's what you're gonna do, Kennedy. Follow my instructions. Are you ready? Who just said that? What did you say?
What does Socratic mean?
Good. You asked your phone that, and what did it say? you better figure out how to ask it in such a way that you get the answer you're looking for, Daniel. And even though I don't want y'all to do this, I'm glad you're doing it. Do you want help, Kennedy? Are you Kennedy?
Sir?
Do you want help?
Yes, sir.
All right, you on the main menu, right?
Yes, sir.
Click blogs.
Blog.
Blogs.
Okay.
You see the blog on the main menu?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, when you come to blog, put in thinking. It could be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, or just thinking. Just put thinking in and see what comes up.
I have thinking.
You have thinking. Read it to us.
Thinking 3.
Thinking 3. I don't care what. Just read one of them to us.
Okay. Thinking 3. In order for a person to truly experience and be cognizant of change within oneself, a great deal of study has to take place. The information that has to be studied is not going to be easy to find, and if found, not easy to learn. How to know what information that is pertinent.
So are you having problems with that word, Kennedy?
Yes, sir.
Then why don't you have a pencil in your hand writing that word down so that you can look it up in the dictionary? Go to your pronunciation chart and study the pronunciation bracket until you teach yourself the word. I don't understand, why would you shortchange yourself by not doing that?
To the quest for truth. To the quest for truth, it's going to take time to learn. Strategies and methodologies must be learned before one can begin to recognize the how and the why. Now, at this time, in what is known as the age of Aquarius, or the age of intelligence, survival cannot be accomplished using old ways of thinking and or believing. The world as it has been in the past is no longer what it has been, and the world is not the planet. Thinking of the world as the planet has caused serious thinking disorders and is going to cause even greater problems for the not yet born. And if past thinking patterns are inserted into future generations, the past problems are going to get worse. If the price of existence in the world has changed, then the way a person thinks is also going to have to change. The older patterns of thinking that have been handed down by the public school systems, by closed-minded parents, by misinformed clergy, and so-called teachers of textbook information, is at this moment creating an atmosphere of engulfing fear. Fear, especially when it is unrealized, is the emotion that begets worry, unhappiness, worry, happiness, frustration, anxiousness, greed, and envy, and will not allow the least bit of harmony. Harmony is a very important factor in the equation if individuals are going to be able to create a future community. Only the coming together of intelligent individuals will provide them the power to create the secure environment that they will need in order to survive.
All right, Kennedy, explain what you just read to everybody. Don't look back up there. Somebody want to help her? Anyone want to help her out? Zulu, help her
What I
out.
heard,
What? I'm sorry.
What I heard her say, what I gathered from it, is things are basically changing. And the way that we used to do things, if you just rely on what we used to do and not catch up with the changing times, then it's going to be very hard for you to create an atmosphere of learning where the children not only will learn, but they will enjoy learning. It will be like light bulbs whenever they learn something.
Okay, so now, one of the ways that it is suggested that Socrates was able to create real learners, educated people, he started asking questions. Again, what I was asking you is, have you learned how to ask yourself the questions that you need to ask yourself in order to know how to learn? Huh?
That's critical thinking.
So you're saying that's critical thinking. I tell you what, let's do this. You're the last person that was in public school, right? All right. Give us a critical thinking skill or some type of exercise that you had to do in that high school you were going to. They taught you a critical thinking exercise. Just whatever it was. The last, what?
Underline important details.
Did everyone hear her? Did you hear Miss Carolyn? What did she say?
Underline important details.
That's supposed to be a critical thinking skill.
That's what they teach.
That's what they teach. So, now, someone tell me a critical thinking skill. Brother White, I know you can give us an example of some type of critical thinking.
Well, to play off of that, knowing what is something important to underline.
Did you hear what he said there?
I didn't understand.
Tell her again. She said she didn't understand you.
Well, what I'm saying is, if they tell you to underline important things without giving you any context of what is important and how to determine what is important, then there's no telling what you're actually underlining.
You understood that? All right, explain it to everybody then.
You can't,
Okay, what about detail?
they're telling you to underline important details, but you don't know whether or not the details you're underlining are important.
Good. Good. That's basically what he said. Now, let's do this right quick. You ready? Okay, you ready? Here's what I need you to do. I need you to give me 10 times the diameter of the planet Earth divided by 2. I'll wait.
130,000.
You said 130,000. Why?
Because I only need to multiply by 5 if I'm dividing
You
by
do need to multiply what by 5?
the diameter of the Earth.
What is the diameter?
26,000 miles.
That's not bad. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but that's not bad. That's not bad. Is everyone following what he's saying? Even though I'm not necessarily telling you that what he's saying is correct. I'm just suggesting it's a start. Someone wants to tell me what he's talking about? Well, Mr. Tamarcus, where's Taj? He told you he wasn't coming.
I told him he gotta come next one.
You tell him I was missing him?
Yeah, I told him.
What'd he say?
He said okay.
Okay. All right. Tell him I ain't gonna keep going for this now. I'm gonna have to come get him.
Yeah, he'll be here next month.
All right. What are we doing?
The 10 times the diameter.
All right, what is 10 times the diameter of the planet Earth?
10 times the diameter.
Now, Brother White said that you multiplied by 5. Is Brother White correct? Is he correct?
Multiply it by 2.
You said multiply what by 2?
But the diameter of the Earth.
I don't think so. I think what you just did was, in order to get the diameter, you're trying to multiply the radius by 2.
You gotta get the diameter first.
And you get the diameter by multiplying the radius by 2. Yeah. But you were trying to remember something that you learned once upon a time. but you didn't do a good job at remembering it. But how did you come up with that?
But I knew it was something in the equation.
Good. Well, they're having a real deep conversation everywhere about what we're doing, but I don't see anyone trying to do it. Why not? Did you find it, Ms. Starks?
I did not. I was thinking about what Adam said. The question was 10 times the diameter of the
Planet Earth.
divided by 2.
Good. So I tell you what, though. Did you determine what the diameter of planet Earth is?
No.
Well, how can you go any further?
I couldn't.
So then it would seem that if we're going to think critically, we would have to solve that part of the question first.
Right.
So what should you do? Kennedy, what should you do? All right, let's do it again. 10 times the diameter of the planet Earth divided by 2. That's good. What is your answer? Why is your answer 39,000? 5 anything. Why is your answer 39,000 5 anything? Why? How did you get it?
I multiplied 10 times the diameter of the planet.
What is the diameter of planet Earth?
It was 7,917 and 5 tenths.
How did you get that? James gave it to you. That's what he's just saying back there.
I said I got something.
Oh, what did you get?
39,855.
How did you get that? Where did you ask the question?
That's the diameter of.
You asked what the question? Telephone?
They on calculate.
You did it
Where
on
did
the
you get the
calculator.
diameter from?
Oh.
You typed it in. What was the diameter?
7,917.5.
That's not bad. You know what? In all of your dictionaries, it's going to be different. If you've got different dictionaries, the number's going to be different. So what I try to do is I try to get all the young people to learn how to say approximately. Now, I would like to think 7,928,000 miles is the diameter. You come to the board.
No matter what the actual number is, what you was asking, the final answer is gonna give you the radius.
It can, depending on if you're after the radius. But right now, what we're after is you're talking about dividing it by 2.
Right.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Okay.
Right? The diameter that we understand.
Yeah.
You just remember what you're erasing to put it back. Just erasing the center. Don't erase all that. You gotta do too much work. That's fine. Now just write the diameter of the planet Earth. Okay. See your 0.5? See your 0.5. See your 0.5? Erase that. For what we're doing, you don't need a point for anything. Alright? So just go 7,917. I'm suggesting if you say 7,926 or 28, it's going to be the same. It's just an approximate. You got it? All right, now, write that times 10. Stop! That's what we're taught in school. That's what she just started to do, is what we're taught in school. So, in fact, you have been being taught to fail all along. Oh. Chad, you ready? James, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, come to the board and finish your problem then. Stop. Erase that nonsense. That's what we're taught in school. That's absolute nonsense. Anytime you do anything like that,
7,917 back. There you go.
all right, anybody want to try to do this? Kennedy, I'm going to be real insulted if you can't come to this board and do this.
You got it. You got it. Don't make me something.
One of you adults want to help her?
She got it. She got it.
What did she do?
No, I thought she had.
She started in the right place.
She started in the right place. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
We doing 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably 10 times that number right there,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So she wants to answer?
And
If I'm not
zero.
mistaken,
Exactly zero.
if I'm not, listen to what she just said, you can ask her again.
She did it.
Good, good. Now, all you now have is 79,000, what? All you had to
What's
do
the answer,
was
James?
move your your 1,000 indicator one place and add a 0.
What's the answer, James?
7,900.
No.
I mean, 79. I mean,
The board.
That's good. What you saying? What? Just 79,000 miles approximately, right? Right?
yes, sir.
Good. Now, divided by 2. Divided by 2. You don't have to do what you're getting ready to do. You have to think, though.
79. We'll take it up to 80.
Good. That'll work. If you take it up to 80, what are you doing? Half of 80 is what? Right. So that's going to get you closer. So now what you've got to figure out is how to actually estimate half of 79. If I'm not mistaken, that 79 is going to be, what is it, 38 or 39? 38 is 76, huh? So if we say 39, it'll get you 78. Is that right? And all you're trying to do is get as close to possible to 79. You're dividing by 2. But they've got us so locked into doing some nonsense with pencil and paper, we're not thinking anything. I'll give you an example. Who's paying attention to me? Who's paying attention to me? You paying attention to me? Are you paying attention to me? No, sir. So then that means I want to ask you. Are you paying attention to me?
Yes.
Hey, turn around a bit.
6 times 85. Now, I don't intend for you to take all day. Why are you not giving me? What are you doing? I asked you a question. What is the answer to the question? Why are you still sitting there grinning like the chess cat or something? Just give me an answer. Why are you writing something? What? Oh, Lord have mercy. This is craziness. What's the question?
What is 6 times 85?
So what is it? So what are we doing? What's 6 times 8?
6 times 8 is 48.
48.
Oh, wait, I got that. I think I have the answer.
Okay.
Okay, it'll be.
No, wait,
So you mean to tell me if we have to think, we get confused? How did you get 510? What did you do in your head? Multiplied what? 85 times 6. That's not what I'm asking you to do. What's the question?
What is 85 times 50?
No, I didn't say. I know I didn't say what's 85 times 6.
6 times 85.
I may have said that. All right. So what's 6 times 8?
48.
So that should be 480. So what's 6 times 5? So it'd be 30 and 480 is what?
30 and 480 is 510.
So what's taking us so long? What? Who did it? You did it? Oh, good. Do I owe you $1? You don't know, so I don't owe you $1 then. If you don't know, no problem.
I think you owe Taylor $5.
Taylor, how much do I owe you? You don't know. You don't. Wait a minute. What? What'd you say? $1. Oh, no problem. I owe you $1. No problem. Let's make it. Let's go for 2. Let's go for 2. Now I'm gonna owe you because I don't have money right now, but let's go for 2. All right. All right. What's 5 times 65? Now, if you don't hurry up and answer me, I don't owe you nothing. No, don't work it out on paper. If you work it out on paper, I'm gonna think you're cheating.
Do it the easy way.
What?
Do it the face value, algorithm. Good.
What did you do, Kennedy? Answer the question then. What's the question?
It was 5 times 65.
All right, so what's the answer?
It was 325.
Is she right, Taylor? You weren't even thinking about it. You just let your brain just going off in the la la land somewhere, huh? Come back. Taylor, Earth to Taylor, come back. All right? Let's do it again. 4 times 46. Why did you think? Wait a minute. As soon as I asked you, the first thing you thought about was a pencil. Why? Stop doing that, child. And you just, what you doing with your fingers? You count with your toes too? All right, what's the answer? Why? Why aren't we coming up with an answer? All right, stop. Let's go back to how do we start out? What was the question we started out with?
6 times 46.
I think, here's the question we started out with. How is Socrates responsible for what is called in modern day critical thinking? What is it Socrates was doing that actually has over a period of 2,500 years or so evolved into critical thinking? What did he do? Socrates, no, I don't want to say that he was doing algorithms, but it was possibly an algorithm. But what was he basically doing? Huh? Oh, come on. Wait a minute. Tell me what you're saying. Just tell me. Don't worry about anybody else. Tell me what you're talking about.
Langston Hughes is the African.
Who?
Langston Hughes.
Langston Hughes? Good. Tell me about Langston Hughes. He's telling me about Langston Hughes. What?
Langston Hughes is the African American poet, Bad Morning. Here I say commercials, Miss Minute.
What? Langston Hughes. He's a poet. Is that what you're saying? He's a poet? Ah, a poet. A poet. A great poet. What? Let him tell me he's African American? Why would I let him tell me he's African American?
Okay. Let him put it
He's a poet, a great poet. What about him?
Langston Hughes is a great poet, Bad Morning. Here I say my shoes, Miss Minute. Lord have mercy, I'm frustrated.
You Langston Hughes told somebody he was frustrated?
It was a poem.
It was a poem. I like that. How many can you remember from me by next week? Langston Hughes poems. What year was he born? Go look him up. And find out what year he was born.
And now?
Yeah.
And he's got his phonics he's gonna do for you too.
Good. So you doing the chart? Is that way?
He's gonna do the chart for you.
Chad, you doing a chart?
No, for free.
Who's doing the chart with
Chad
you
is gonna do
teaching
the chart.
Who?
Here's his chart he did in class just now.
Just now.
Yeah, he did this just now. It's sitting down over
Really?
here. Right.
Who showed you how to do the
First,
who showed you how to do the
he
lines?
was born
Who?
February 1st, 1902.
Lex Hughes. How did you get that?
I had some milk.
Oh, you had some help. No problem. No, well, wait a minute.
Here, come get
Come here,
come
show me
get your
this.
chart.
Come show me this. This is a chart.
He
You
just
used
did
it.
it in
Wait a minute.
class.
You used the ruler?
Yes.
That is almost perfect.
Don't let her tell you that. That's not almost perfect. That, I don't care what she said. That ain't almost perfect. You gotta practice.
It's good, Chad.
You just don't let them jive you.
Yes,
Listen,
it is.
listen,
It's
come here,
good,
Chad.
Chad.
Come here. Come here.
I know they are crooked.
You know the what?
No. He said, I know they're a little crooked.
Oh, you know they're a little crooked. All right, we're gonna straighten them up and show you how to do it. All right. So you're supposed to be helping them learn how to straighten these lines up. We're not gonna make excuses. We're just gonna practice till he gets it right. Right?
Every day.
Okay. So now, see this line up here? See this one right here,
Yes, sir.
Chad?
Yes, sir.
That line is going over there to that side on the letter A, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't want to do that. Figure out, like if it's going to go to the bottom of the A right there, then make it go to the bottom of the B right here. Then make it go to the bottom of the C right there. And let it go to the same place. And then as you move your ruler just a little bit, it'll come out perfect, I promise you. So it just takes practice. You have to, Danny, don't you know how to do this?
Yes, sir.
How come you didn't show him?
He can make the sounds. He can give you the sounds.
Who can make the sound?
Chad.
You know the sounds? All right, give me the sound of DA. DA. That's the D, right?
Da.
Da. Good. So see this letter right there? If that's not A and it's A, then what is DA?
D.
Let me shake your hand. Let me shake it. I won't shake that hand. Shake that hand. Right. There you go. All right, so CA.
K.
And if it's not K, because let's say that's an R rather than an A, it will be what?
D.
No, that's when the C all of a sudden takes on the sound of an S. You have to be careful because that C and that S and that Z are going to be real tricky. All right? But what we want to do is, if we go here and this is A, make that Ka. If we call that A, make that K. We don't need cat. You know, like they teach us cat because they want us to learn how to say cat. I'd rather you say cut. Cut. Cut.
And the cot. And the cot.
Yeah. Cut.
And the cot was.
Now at the same time, you have to be careful because if you're at the community center and you around there talking about cut, you're gonna get popped in the head. You have to be careful. Cut. And then you understand that she says cat, so you know that's how she talks, so you say cat too, all right? See, on the other side, over here, it doesn't matter how you say the letter A. A, doesn't matter. But on this side, it's just two ways that we want to pay attention. And that's A and A. And we come down this side and we call it A. And we get to the bottom. And we know all the sounds. Now we come down again and we call this A. So when we start out, this becomes A, B, K, day.
That didn't do it. That asked her.
You do it. She go over there with her and get her to help you and
He
show
can
me.
do it. Show it.
A, good. B,
B. K.
good.
D.
Use your finger and go Make sure you trace the lines. Good. Keep going.
A,
Good.
B,
Good.
K,
Where you get K? Yes, good.
D,
Good.
E, A.
Good. Yay. 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 There's one sound. Make it one sound. In other words, in school they teach us that one of the vowels is silent. Now, how stupid is that? How stupid is that? I mean, open up your dictionary and look up the word vowel. See what it says. So if that's the case, if that's what it's saying in your dictionary, how are they going to in turn have you in a classroom and then teach you that one of the vowels is silent? Then they got, how about this one? They want to tell you something about, in English, the idiosyncratic nature of English says that a vowel at the end of a word like jungle is silent. Isn't that what they taught you in school? What?
Is there any chance that has something to do with the fact that most of the largest words in the English language are Latin words?
Kind of, in a way. But what happened was, there were different periods as they were creating grammatical rules. See, once upon a time, there were no grammatical rules. All of this is some new nonsense. They just started this. Shakespeare wrote his name 7 different ways. There was no rules, no grammatical rule. There was no grammar. Grammar is something that developed. In other words, everyone that actually was learning grammar in a way that it would be powerful for them and it would help them, they were learning Latin and Greek. That's not what you were learning. But why is it that you think you went to grammar, that you actually participated in grammar school? And then we get adults, grown-ass Negro adults who will get up and lie. Like they really had something when they were going to school. See, they told us and they told me, well, they taught you a lie. What's the problem? Well, see, I know that they told me the truth. Why did they tell you the truth? It's weird. Keep going down that side. I tell you what, let's do it like this. Go to PA. What's PA?
Pay.
Or?
Pa.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think Kennedy was over there helping you. Was she over there helping you? Tell the truth. Who was helping you?
Zulu.
Oh, Zulu was helping you. She over there hiding. She over there. No, she was helping you.
What's your sister's name, man? What's your sister's name?
Zambia.
All right, don't let God get you in trouble.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
You gotta go home with her.
We're sitting in a school where everybody's supposed to be knowledgeable about all this Africa talk, but we don't know anything about the Zulu. Why not? What? Also, the Institute don't help them with the Africa
Yes,
thing.
I do, but I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Best saying what? So since we help them, where does Zulu come from?
Southeastern Africa.
That's where the Zulu are. Southeastern Africa, no problem. Where'd they come from?
Bantu Nation.
What is a Bantu nation? What is a Bantu nation? Bantu, what is Bantu?
Language.
Well, there was a brother that was real important to us, and his name was Stephen Biko. But the way that the government listed his name was Stephen Bantu Biko. But what is it that Stephen Biko was trying to get us all to be aware of and understand in order to help us go forward on this planet and survive? Yes. What? Tell me what you found when you looked up Bantu.
Bantu, mankind, men.
Are you saying that's what the word actually etymologically means?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think so.
Yes, sir.
But now understand something. Now someone has actually gone into the language of the Bantu and they've deciphered it in order for us to understand that the word Bantu is supposed to actually be in that language the same as the word men in the language that you speak, or man. But now someone wanted you to think that the word Bantu was an inferior word when it was applied to a person. What's the other word that people actually would call people of African origins in that area, that same area? What do they call them?
Pygmies.
No, not pygmies. How many of you know about a pygmy? How many of you know about a pygmy?
Hottentot.
How many of you know about a Hottentot? You know about a Hottentot. Tell us about a Hottentot.
I know. I've heard of Venus, the Hottentot.
So you didn't know what you were really reading. So be careful about that. All right.
Okay.
But what I'm asking is about a Hottentot. What is a Hottentot?
It's an African and short in stature.
It is what people of what the Dutch called a particular group of people. They call them Hottentot because of their rear ends and the size of their rear ends. But in fact, the people didn't call themselves Hottentot. So now we have to figure out, what did these people call themselves? If we're not respectful enough to understand that we don't have to use terms that were assigned to anyone relative to us.
What are the Khoi Khoi?
The Khoi Khoi. Who are the Khoi Khoi?
The Hottentot? No.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
You saying what?
I'm seeing Khoi Khoi when I look up Hottentot.
Yeah, but good. But Hottentot is a Dutch assignment, like nigger.
Dutch settlers, yeah.
So Khoi Khoi is their tribal?
Khoi Khoi was what the people call
I
themselves.
thought you just said it wasn't.
No, I didn't say it wasn't.
Okay, all right.
What I'm doing my best, I hope, to get some of our young people to actually understand that there's a way for us to figure this out without all of the nonsense coming into our brains that were programmed in. You're going to tell me, someone here going to tell me that you did not see these people as pygmies? Is anyone going to tell me that I'm serious? You didn't see those people as pygmies.
Till I learn better.
When did you learn better?
I'm not sure. Probably after I came to class.
Or after you started coming to class. So prior to that, they were pygmies.
Right.
So do you understand what is going on in our brains and in the brains of our children?
And Bushman.
What is a bushman? What is a bushman?
It's another term that the sellers use.
Look up San. Yes, I'm listening.
So when I heard the term pygmy, shamefully, I just heard it. You know, I'm like, I wasn't, I didn't have the desire to figure out.
Well, the pygmies was just the short people.
Pygmies, just the short people. Pygmies is a cartoon character that white folks created for y'all.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, y'all start calling the people who you said were short people pygmies.
Yeah, I would hear my grandmother say it, and my
So that made it all right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't all right. And that's the problem. That's the problem. We keep on inculcating into ourselves the mistakes that our grandparents and our parents made. And at some point, we've got to be willing to change this. If we're not willing to change this, it's going to stay the same.
I hadn't used that term in so long. I hadn't heard that term in so long.
Okay, so fine. You hadn't used the term. So what is the correct term?
I do not know.
Good. So the object is to find out what the correct term is. And the correct term is what the people call themselves. And then, don't you remember sitting in this room and somebody says to me, well, what should we call ourselves then? Now at the same time, now if I say, nigga, I don't care what you call yourself, now I'm doing something wrong, right?
No, but what I heard you say was, I don't care what you call yourself.
Nigga.
So, see, but that the gift is, I'm inspired to now research a lot that I've learned, that I was taught, and relearn.
So you say research. Good. I remember asking the question in here, how do you research something? Do you remember the answer that I was given?
I don't.
I think I was given an answer, I read. What?
So in China, Peking, when we were growing up in geography, Beijing was called Peking because that's what the British named China. Is that who named it? And they changed their name back to Beijing. So that's an example.
It's a good example. One of my first awareness when I was studying about India gaining their independence from Great Britain.
What year?
And I can't recall what year. But the piece I was given was that the Indians started renaming cities and townships and a lot back to the original language.
So, but the problem I have a beef with is saying they gained their independence. Because that's inferior too. How you gonna gain your independence from something that was yours to begin with? So you took it back, or you put them out, or you something. Kedron went out the door. Kedron and I were having a discussion earlier today about the difference between funding and capitalized. Funding goes with grant. Capital goes with contract. Over here is the giveaway. That's what they give us. We get grants and we get funding. And over here, the people who build the highways and the airplanes and the this, that, and the other, they get contracts and they use capital. So it's a way of hemming you into a mindset about dependency. And so now we got a whole generation of people running around talking about, I'm gonna get a grant. And they have, but it's all in the language. It's in the very subtle usage of these words.
Kimmy, did you find research?
No, sir.
Did you look?
No, sir.
Because I was waiting on someone to tell, what is research then? What is it when you research something?
To look at people.
To look at what again?
Whatever you are.
RE is to do again. RE. All right, so what is search? And where does it come from? And what are you doing when you are searching? So now when you understand that we have to learn how to research. So we started out by trying to suggest that there was once upon a time some particular people who were developing the science that now is called critical thinking. Yes, dear.
I found that when I found search.
Tell me what you found.
The etymology.
That's good.
Okay. The etymology of search, Middle English, searching, and then it says searching again, but with a C. Then it's Old French.
That's right.
Old French, searcher, French, searcher. From Latin, cercare, to go around, go about, explore. From a circus, a ring.
So now when you're searching for something, when you're researching, you are looking for evidence. You're actually trying to go in because you want to know something. You want to prove something. You don't want to just believe. You want to know. There's power in knowing, not in believing. And if in fact you're going to get your power from belief, you don't have anything. But if you get your power from knowledge, now you've got your power from God. In other words, are you sure that God is something dealing with belief? Are you sure? All my life, people have been trying to tell me that God had to do with belief. But in fact, if all this is what it appears to be, then it's based on something actually knows what it's doing. There's nothing about any belief involved. For this to work in the way that it's working, something had to truly know what it's doing. Are you trying to tell him something? Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. It's up to you. So when you research something, what do you have to do in order to actually know what you're doing? Now, Socrates said you should ask questions. So asking questions led to a science called what? Epistemology. When we do the epistemological work, and this is what I hope that these young people will learn how to do. They're going to learn how to do the epistemological work. Kennedy, spell epistemology.
Epistemology. E-P-I-S-T.
Did you say E-P-I?
No, sir.
Okay.
E-P-I-S-T-O.
That's episto.
Steve. Okay, let's start over. Epistemology. E-P-I-S-T-E-O. No. S-T-M-O-L-O-G-Y. Epistemology.
Good. So what are you doing when you do an epistemological exercise and you're searching for something? What are you trying to do?
I wrote it down.
You definitely want to find evidence, but how?
Epistemology is the theory of knowledge.
Okay, but what is when you say the theory of knowledge? See, what about the word epistemology tells you that you're dealing with knowledge? What part of that word tells you that? Epistle. Where do you find the word epistle?
In the Bible.
And in the Bible, what is the word epistle telling you is there?
Books.
No.
Letters.
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 Good. So what does a letter tell you?
It's a record.
What?
A record.
It can give you a record. But when I was a young person, and when older people would speak of people who were intelligent, they would say, he's lettered.
Reading.
She's lettered. Or they would say, she's unlettered.
They can read.
Which means they could not read.
Learned.
They could not learn.
They didn't know.
They didn't know. They didn't know the letters. When you send a letter, you think in terms of an envelope with something written on something inside. But you're sending the actual codes that need to be deciphered once it is received. That is the letter, not the thing that you're sending in the envelope. Some kind of way, our misunderstanding of language has us thinking all off. Tell the truth. If I were to discipline you, what would I do?
Like right now?
Right now, what would I do to discipline you?
Say some stuff to me.
Like what?
Something that hurt my feelings.
Something to hurt your feelings.
Wow.
Yeah. Anybody else want to tell me, Kennedy, when your parents or your guardians, when they discipline you, what do? They whoop me.
That's true.
I heard her say that. Is everyone here aware that she's saying that?
Yeah, that's true.
Whenever you have said something about disciplining your children, what were you saying?
Beating them.
You've been beating on them. You've been whooping them. Now understand something. We were just speaking a minute ago about the problems that you have in your brains when you say things like pygmy, kafir, aborigine, nigger, on and on and on. You having problems in your brain based on those words. Slave. Now I just said the word slave. Come on, somebody tell me what you saw.
Us.
Who is us? You didn't see anything, Joanne.
I because I've been doing the work, a little of the work. I've been doing it, and so when I hear that word, I don't see what I used to see.
So you're saying you used to see it, but you don't see it anymore.
I'm not gonna say I don't see it anymore, but that's not, just not planted on the brain when I see, I see like that picture behind.
But the average person that has not been coming to our class over a period of time, when they hear that word, what do they see?
People of color in rags.
People in rags, people of color in rags. Isn't that something?
I used to see him in the car.
Now, at the same time, there's a lot of people I'm watching on the internet, they're talking all about race. Like they really know what race is and all the things. They never come to class now. Never, ever come to class. But they know all about race. Well, here's the thing I'm trying to get at. How do they know so much? Well, what are they talking about?
Their beliefs.
So they're talking about their beliefs. So what do they believe?
Anything.
Well, usually when you talk about your beliefs, aren't you talking about what Sam actually put into your brains?
Right.
So what did Sam put into your brains about Jesus?
Jesus, pure white man.
Oh, so do you see the white man whenever you say the word Jesus? When I just said the word Jesus a minute ago, did you see somebody white?
Blonde hair, blue
Yep.
eyes.
You said no. You said yes.
Yes.
You said yes. You saw somebody white. Well, those of you who have actually gotten to a point where you don't see anybody white, I find that great. I find that it's amazing that you're capable of doing that. If I say to you, George, Jesus, tell me the picture you just saw in your brain.
I see me.
Now you see you. So you've always seen you whenever you said the word Jesus.
Always.
Yeah.
No.
What did you see before you started seeing you?
I saw a white man.
Yeah, you saw a white man, but now you see you. So you've taken the place of the white man.
Of course.
Well, you know what? I really do. I think that all of us have to really do some work.
Yeah.
I really do. I think a lot of what we're doing is we're fooling ourselves about this stuff.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. I'm so happy to see you. Is that who I think it is?
It is.
Do you have my book?
I do, Robert, but I shall the one next time I see you.
Good. Well, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that since you said it. I'm gonna take that as your word, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, why is it that I keep bugging you about that book? Why do you think?
Because it's important. It has a lot of good information.
Well,
in it.
good. Have you been reading it?
I have bits and pieces.
What piece did you read?
Well, because most of my time is at work, I can't read like I want to, but definitely race. That's a good one. Not to say all of them aren't good, but
So you're saying that race is in that book?
yes.
What does it say about race in that book?
I'm still trying to understand it because I know race, as I know it, we call it as a color, but it's a little more.
Wait a minute. You said race as you know it is a color.
Yeah.
Where did you get that information from?
Well, I guess where I grew up.
Okay, no problem. You got it from when you were growing up, from the people that were placing this into you. Is anyone else in the room, did you get the same thing that she got? That race was a color.
Colors.
Race was colors. What colors?
Black, white, yellow, red.
So now, does that have to do with people?
Yes.
So you've actually seen a yellow and red person walking down the street?
No. But those were the colors.
Wait a minute. Well, first you said that. See, so I'm gonna get confused here. You're telling me that you were taught that there was such a thing as yellow and red people, but you've never seen a yellow or red person.
Correct.
Huh?
That was all the question at that point.
So now we were talking about critical thinking. So now we are supposed to be trying to get involved in learning how to think critically. So we were tracing back to where it may have gotten started. We came up with the person Socrates. We decided that according to Western academia, Socrates came up with a method called the Socratic method of teaching, where Socrates asked questions. So now this was supposed to be something that we were learning how to do for ourselves. The people that you're around, have you ever reached over and hit any of your children in the back of the head? Really? What did you say? My child over here. She was hurry up, got her sucking up. You get in the back of the head?
Something like that, yeah.
That what you was telling me about discipline?
Oh, no, not, it's partial of discipline.
That's part of the discipline. So what did you learn about discipline?
My mom?
Your mama? So you taught her that the discipline her was to pop her in the mouth, right?
And my grandma.
Your grandmama too.
Great.
So how is it that all of our folks have been learning all this stuff that we actually think is reality, is real, when in fact most of it doesn't mean anything, just belief? How long do we keep doing that?
Obedience to authority.
What? Obedience to authority? What authority?
Whatever we feel like is in charge. No, I didn't from my parents and grandparents. When there was a time where I was afraid to question things that I thought was not right. And so generationally we go through it. We don't question the supposed authority. And that may be our parents and grandparents, so we go with what they're instilling in us until we old enough to.
So then that means we're going to have to learn how to ask questions.
Yes.
That's why I have to learn how to ask questions, because until I got with a group of people that did something totally different, when you are being raised in a household where you know, don't ask me why.
Yeah.
I said so.
Because I said so. Or shut up, you ask too many questions.
So now at some point, hopefully we're going to evolve past traditional belief.
But not only that, Dr. Black, you got it at home, you got it at school, and then you just, that's me. And then now I'm walking in la la land thinking that whatever my concepts are about life, thinking that there's nothing wrong with me. Because I can add, subtract, and multiply, and I can call out words. There's nothing wrong with me because everybody else around.
Now you're learning there's more to this than just basic addition, basic subtraction, basic multiplication. There's more to it.
Exactly.
And as we keep thinking and learning and studying, matter of fact, Tamarcus, how far have you come with this? Tell us what, matter of fact, just give us some kind of idea where you started.
Probably 8 years ago, I was, I don't know where to start.
You don't know where to start. How about this? What did you first ask me? Tell him, don't be bashful.
So when I first met you, I said, well, I want you to help me to become a better Christian.
Do you think I laughed at him?
You did.
I laughed at you? No, I didn't. I didn't laugh. What?
Internally, you did.
Maybe you, so you said you can't. What?
In retrospect, you did.
In retrospect, I wasn't laughing at you. I was really thinking to myself, you know what? If you really truly learn this, you're going to become a better Christian.
Right.
If you really learn this. But first, you've got to be willing to understand what a Christian actually is. Yes, sir.
No, I got to go back to that first question that you asked me when I came in the door. And to be completely honest, that picture of Jesus, I still have it in my consciousness because I haven't did enough work or any work at all to even do anything or even see anything different other than what I've been taught.
Good. So, what were you saying now, Tamarcus, about, you see, because if I'm not mistaken, you've actually been learning how to be a better Christian.
Overall, yeah. Better Christian, like you say, but better Muslim, better Buddhist.
Because if you become a better Christian, you're better all of it. If you become a good Christian. But the thing about it is the average person that listens to me doing what we're doing, first thing they walk out that door is all over town. You know that old damn Dr. Black, he don't believe in God. That's the first thing that's said. Haven't you heard that before?
Yeah. What is he? I'm trying to figure out what he believes in.
What I believe in. But yet I try to make sure everybody understands I don't have time to believe in anything.
I heard it just a couple weeks ago.
You heard what a couple weeks ago?
I'm trying to figure out what he believes in.
Trying to figure out what I believe in. I don't believe in anything. As a matter of fact, I believe that if you believe, then you're a damn fool. I also think, I really do, I think that belief is one of the main things that keep our children from ever taking over this planet. If we ever stop that nonsense, then in fact they would have the talent to actually change the whole planet. But because we insist that they are ignorant like we were, we insist on it. We insist on it. In other words, see, my thing is I don't have time to believe in God, because if you ask me to believe in God, what you're asking me to do is to believe in your ignorance. That's what you're asking me to do. But what about this? What if I asked you to know God?
That's another question. They gotta do some work.
But I'm asking you to know God. I ain't asking you to believe anything. I'm asking you to know God. Now here's what's weird. You're insisting on believing in God, so when you look at your child or your husband or your wife, you can't see God. Now that's some weird stuff. You're going to tell me that you're going to actually produce a child onto this planet with another person, but you don't have the ability to see God. Something wrong with that one. Something wrong with that. And then your child gets here, and you mean to tell me you don't have the ability to see God when your child gets here? There's really something wrong with that one. And then you actually tell me that your belief said that your child can't be God. The only thing your child can be is a nigger.
See, the veil was put in place before the child got here.
The what?
The veil.
The veil?
Has been put in place
come right veil up here.
before the child got here.
Come right veil.
Now that the veil is being removed, I don't have a fear of still what comes up from my subconscious.
I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Daniel?
Everybody in the world's a God.
Okay, well what makes you say that?
Because people can do things like God.
I can't hear you, what?
Because people can do things like God can do.
No problem. But I'll say this, outside of this building, if you say that in the wrong place, you're gonna get your head busted. I would, if I were y'all, I would practice and learn how to keep this stuff to yourself. Now I was just watching the hearing, and I think John Lewis said you're supposed to speak up. When injustice comes, you're supposed to have something to say. Well, if you're with me, you keep it to yourself. I don't need you to speak up. I need you to keep it to yourself. Because if they know what you're thinking, you can't win. Did you write Val? All right. Keegan, change that around to the word that it actually is. Do it. Yes, that's what it is. That's what the word actually is. So where did you learn that?
Actually, just looking at it, I switched it. I didn't learn it. I just figured.
Why did you figure?
Just pretty much
But how come no one has ever shown us that these two words are the same word?
That way we can continue to use languages without the right context.
All right, well, this veil up here, this veil, how is this veil the manifestation of evil?
So you may a veil is something that covers up lines to some sort.
So when a veil is placed
over
your eyes,
right.
you will not be able to see.
Right.
All right, so that is actually very evil.
Very right.
So the word that comes into English from this is what?
Villain? No.
Now, villain comes from the word villager.
Okay.
That's where villain comes from, villager.
Devil.
The word devil comes into existence. So if you place a D right in front of the E, that's where this word comes from. But if you make that the French, you put an accent mark toward the D, aimed at the D, Devel. And by the time it comes into snuffy E's, which is what you speak, you get devil. Devil. And this is what's weird because I've never heard y'all say devil. But here's what's weird. Tell me the original word that you find in the Latin. Which Latin? Which Latin? Which Latin are we going to bring the language from in order to get here? Which Latin? Vulgate. Vulgate Latin. Tell me the word we're looking at in Vulgate Latin. Diablos. Diablos. Good. So that was the word. The word devil was never in the Bible. The word was diablos. Diablos. D-I-A. Yeah, but if you look at D-I-A, you get dia, which tells you what?
Two.
Tells you something is split.
Good.
Tells you that, and if something is split, we're usually looking at 180 instead of 360, right? So you're looking at only half. So that's what dia is. So that's what diablos is. So now, why is it that y'all think that only white people can be the devil? Because Elijah Muhammad said so? Yeah, well, how about this? Elijah Muhammad actually made a statement. We need to go back and understand the context of what he was saying. He also suggested that there were a lot of people being made in the image of their creator.
Right.
So if the devil was making the Negro, who did he make the Negro in the image of?
Himself.
So what is the Negro?
Son of the
The
devil.
manifestation of ignorance. The manifestation of diablos. Because only when half is the diabo, right? That's the diabo. You see diabo? Diabo. All right? Isn't the O supposed to be on the other side of the L? Oh, I see diablos. Diablos. Is that what you're saying? No problem. But diabol is the actual word. All right. So what is the opposite of diabol? You know, we've gone over this over and over and over and over this again. Come on, some of you good Christians, I know y'all know. What is the opposite of diablos? Diabol.
Angel.
What is it?
They call it an angel.
Angel is a messenger. What is the opposite? All right, let me help. Draw a circle, dear. I know y'all know this. Draw a circle down there.
Ball.
A ball. Good. So it's B-O-L. But the circle, 360 degrees, is actually a symbol. It is when the circle comes together. So it is a symbol.
Sim means together.
Sim means together. That's right, 360 degrees. Half of that is the diabole. That's when you have the ignorance. And now I've got a group of people that I'm relative to that insist on maintaining ignorance. Why? So you said you've been reading the books, right? Which one did you read? Did you read Jonathan? You didn't read Jonathan. Who started on Jonathan?
Who started on Jonathan Seagull?
I didn't hear you. Who did? Taylor, is that you with your hands up?
That entire table was supposed to
Taylor.
cry at the same time.
That's you with your hands up. Turn around and speak to everybody so they can hear you. Tell me what you read about Jonathan. Tell me what you remember. He or she? I think her name was Jonah. Jonah Livingston Seagull is the she. In other words, a lot of times when you're thinking about this, don't necessarily think in the masculine. Since you're a female, what do you need to think in? What do you need to think in? Think in the feminine. Why is it that y'all have such a problem about thinking as females? Hello?
Too caught up in that gender.
Is that right? But why?
Talk to us.
That's what was taught. Oh, I know. God, he.
Yeah.
And that's why we got president-elect.
Oh, and she's saying that because y'all think like that, that's why y'all chose to have Donald Trump for your president. You didn't choose him. Oh, isn't that right? Well, I think we'd really better understand just how much our little small piece of the universe affects the whole thing. So now, you were reading Jonah Livingston Seagull? All right, tell me in the beginning what it's about. A seagull who what?
Who wanted to learn how to fly.
A seagull who wanted to learn how to fly. What do you mean?
Fast.
Fast. Why?
So he can get food.
So he can just get food. They get food without flying. They just throw food over from the boat. They feed you. Why do you want to learn to fly faster? Higher, further, dive deeper.
So he can go the fastest limit.
So he can do what?
Go the fastest limit.
So he can go a faster limit than he already can go, right? So let's just say thinking is like flying. Do you think it's possible for you to go to limits that the average person has never gone to before? Huh? You don't think you're going to be able to do this better than Adam White? You don't think you can be smarter than Adam White? Huh? You do.
You got a 30-year head start on me.
And what do you have to do? Fly faster. Good, 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 good. So you're going to fly faster. Let me ask some of you adults. Have all of you adults read Jonathan Livingston Seagull?
No.
You read it? You haven't read it. Why not? You haven't had time.
Not necessarily. I make time for things, but it hasn't popped on my radar.
Do you think he should read it? Why do you think he should read it?
If he's ever gonna go past where he's at, he's gotta know how to do that.
Tell her to dive deep.
You got to be able to learn how to dive deeper, fly faster, go further, go higher, to evolve. Well, the thing is that in the story, there's a lot of things that would tell us that what our parents wanted for us was not enough. And a lot of times that our parents will actually hold us back if we try to go further than where they are. So sometimes we have to be willing to do what's necessary to go just a little bit further, to try just a little bit harder. In other words, right now, Tamarcus, how many times have people told you you too hard on Taj?
Every other day.
They tell you too hard on him. Why do people tell him he's too hard on his son?
Because a lot of us think that children just need they need to be children. Let them play. They need play time.
And these are the same people that just gave away your school system.
Yes, sir.
These are the same people that have been in charge of the city of Memphis, and your children are still getting shot down like dogs every day.
I try to teach these children that they can start a business and become powerful right now at this age.
Good. So have you been introducing them to the symbols? Louis?
No, sir.
All right. Kennedy, is she gone?
She's gone.
All right. Zulu. I tell you what, since we didn't get to the chart, we are going to get started on learning the symbols, right? So how about this, Louis? Let's just start doing a thing with the stock market. So we just print off the basic stock. So we just start learning the basics in the stock market. So you got help, darling. So ask somebody to help you with the origins of the stock market. They all know because everybody knows about the black stock market, right? Don't everybody know about the black stock market?
I know more about the black stock market
Huh?
Probably know more about the black one than the other.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, where is the original market? Where does it start? The stock market, where does it start? So that's what we're going to do with them. We're going to start with the beginning. Where the stock market comes from. What is the origins of the stock market? Tell me, Louis.
I'm thinking cattle industry.
Who?
Cattle.
No.
Stock.
No. The Cattlemen's Association comes about a whole nother way. It comes about a whole nother way. The stock market actually is older than the United States of America. The stock market was here before this became the United States of America. Marcus?
I guess you will probably go back to the Dutch.
The Dutch actually create Wall Street. They actually create what is now known as the stock market. How do we know the Dutch did this?
One way you can look at it is the name. What was the name of New York before it was New York?
What was the name of New York before it was New York? What was it?
What, New Amsterdam?
New Amsterdam, Nova Belgia.
Right.
No problem. Now, how do we verify? How do we check, double check, to go against, to make sure that we got this correctly? Because they didn't teach us this in school, and you know that if they didn't teach us this in school, we're gonna argue. It couldn't be that way, because if it had been that way, they'd have told me. Is that right? Well, what do they call this place? Harlem? Harlem comes from where? Harlem is Dutch. What is the other place in New York that's Dutch that we're relative to, black folks as they call us?
Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Bedford-Stuyvesant. That's also Dutch. As a matter of fact, the Dutch considered themselves to be the original Americans. Y'all did watch Gangs in New York, didn't you?
I did.
That was the Dutch. That was the Dutchman. And you know what's his name? Dutch Schultz? Dutch Schultz felt that Harlem belonged to him. But I mean, I'm watching y'all coming all on the internet now talking all about Black Wall Street. Now all of a sudden you know they're talking about Black Wall Street in North Carolina and the different places around the country that there was a Black Wall Street. Y'all know who they can thank for that, right? They watched the video of these children in this room doing this, and now all of a sudden they know all about it. I find that strange. And I'm still saying that if we take advantage of this, we're the ones that should be actually doing this because we're the ones doing something. So what I'm gonna ask you to do, Lewis, is you're gonna get all the young people, especially that girl over there, the one that's supposed to be doing my charts. She's gonna teach everybody the symbols, right? What's the symbol for Marvel, baby? Marvel. Okay, so find out tomorrow, right? The symbol for the company. What's the company's name?
Marvel.
And what did Marvel create? Comic books. Good. So how are they making their money right now? Movies. So who just bought Marvel?
Disney.
Who?
Disney.
Disney bought Marvel. How much did Disney pay for Marvel?
$4 billion.
$4 billion. That's what they just paid for Marvel. Now this is weird because I know I asked everybody to invest in Marvel back when it was like 80 cents. That was before Disney bought it for $4 billion. I also asked everybody to buy CCA back when it was 38 cents. What is CCA? Corrections Corporation of America. A lot of folks got mad at me because I suggested that everybody ought to buy CCA. Why would you suggest that we make money on our children going to the penitentiary? Well, why would you suggest that you don't want your children to learn how to read? Because if they don't learn how to read, where do you think they're going? And if they go to the penitentiary, what's the problem about me making a few dollars?
It's making a lot of dollars now. You said 80 cents first when it started, right?
That was Marvel.
Oh, okay.
CCA was 38 cents.
It's $27.83 right
It
now.
went up to $33.
Yeah. It did go up.
CCA.
It went down some lately.
Yeah.
Huh?
It came down some lately.
Right.
Yeah, just slightly.
Yeah.
But we need to understand what's going on and why they went from 38 cents to 30-some dollars.
You be a millionaire.
Who do you think that they actually plan to put into those places? The ignorant. That's absolutely right, the ignorant. Now understand, if it just so happens that a lot of people who happen to look like you happen to be ignorant, I don't think you ought to get mad at that. But I think maybe you might want to try to do something to help your young people maintain a position on this planet where they don't have to be the ones filling up the penitentiaries. Matter of fact, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see them own the penitentiaries. And then you know how they're going to do? They're going to do like Obama did. I'm the president for everybody. What? Y'all know what I'm talking about, don't you? People all of a sudden became the president for everybody. Well, what is it? What is it? Then somebody said he's trying to do right to get you to school. Do you think Obama trying to get you to college? You don't? Well, Carolyn, didn't Obama say he was trying to get out of college? Huh?
Let's say who was trying to get
Obama was trying to get Amari to college.
Oh, Amari.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
he did. He said that. But now what does she have to do? That's right. You see, because let me tell you what's going to happen, what's been happening. All of a sudden they came up with some new rules relative to how the schools were set up. See, once upon a time when I was growing up, if you were on the streets of Chicago or Detroit and you wanted to get off the streets, your people would get you to Pine Bluff or Tennessee State or Jackson State. Can't do that any longer. Why not?
The slots, a lot of slots are taken up by white kids at
Why?
those schools now.
Why?
Because we're not applying ourselves.
Kind of, but it's more to it than that.
The minority rules.
There's a whole bunch of rules that are going on. But here's the thing, where y'all could be applying for those scholarships, now those scholarships are open to so-called white people. Now you go to Pine Bluff, Tennessee State, Jackson State, a lot of the scholarships are what y'all call white folks. Y'all better start figuring this out. Y'all don't control those schools anymore. Those schools are all state schools. They're under the regents, the university systems in each state. And so once upon a time where y'all control those schools and you can get your children off the streets and into college, you can't do that any longer. Why is it that I gotta fight with y'all to learn, to get them ready at a young enough age to get them into school on full scholarship? So what now?
I say you don't have to fight.
Okay. All right. But I'm just curious, why?
It's important. If not, they'll be where we are today.
So if somebody had helped you in the way that we're trying to help these young people here, you think you'd have went to school on full scholarship?
Probably not. I never was big on going to school anyway, but probably would have.
So you're telling me that you don't think no one could have come along that could have been smart enough that could have actually tricked you into going to school?
Probably could have. I'm just a little stubborn there.
You probably were. But I don't know anybody on this planet that was more stubborn than Guido Lewis.
I do.
Who do you know that was more stubborn than him
At his age.
at his age?
And I didn't know him.
Who was that? But
I
the
didn't know
thing,
him then, but I'm just saying.
the thing is I'm still suggesting that if it's done right, all of these youngsters can go to school on full scholarship, but they've got to start now. We can't wait. So when we're talking about research and how to research, we're talking about epistemology and ontology and etiology and etymology. They've got to learn these skills now. And if we let them play through this, then it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And they can't guess their way through this. They've really got to do this. And I understand everybody's saying, well, why is it important that they know? Did y'all just see Jay-Z? Did you just see Jay-Z? He was on TV with, who was that, Hillary Clinton or somebody talking about respect.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, it was Jay-Z.
God.
He was talking about respect. He said that to read is to do again, inspect, see. Now I wonder where that came from. You see, because they don't have an idea. He doesn't have an idea what he's talking about. You think that's what it is? Maybe it is. But all I know is this. When you were growing up, what did they teach you to respect is? That's what they taught you. But at the same time, have you ever looked the word up? Have you ever looked the word up? You looked the word up, K-Ro? Respect. Have you ever looked the word up? Have you ever looked the word up? Do you know how to respect someone?
Based on what I'm told, respect is, yeah.
But here's just the thing. What I'm asking you to learn how to do is stop going by what you've been told. You can't do that now. The only thing you can depend on your parents for is to tell you to watch the stoplights. Or better than that, I don't even want to tell you, I don't even want to care if they tell you to watch the lights. I want them to tell you to watch them damn cars. What? It's time to go? All right, y'all come on, it says time to go, we gotta go. So I'll see y'all next week. We're gonna start, we're gonna do the charts, right? We're gonna start practicing this week. I'll call you every day if I have to. And we're gonna start doing the symbols. All right? And you're gonna get everybody caught up. So what's the first two symbols you're gonna start with? Marvel and what? CCA. And what is CCA?
Is it correction?
Corrections?
Corporation of America.
Where are they located? CCA is located in Nashville. We're going to know everything about these companies. And we're going to learn the most important civil right that has ever been in the United States of America. What is that? What civil right is that? What? The most important civil right that has ever existed in this country
Silver.
is the right to buy and sell shares of publicly traded companies. All the rest of that y'all talking about, that's just slave talk. What y'all call it, civil rights? That's just slave talk. Civil rights is what this is about. And I know what I'm saying. I know you, and I know that y'all fighting capitalism and all that. But you know what? You better be the most informed socialist that ever existed on this planet. You were born in the United States of America. So that means we have to know everything that we can possibly know about capitalism and how to capitalize and what we're doing. And if we get some money, we're going to make sure they all go to school, whether they go on scholarship or not, because everybody's supposed to get rich. If y'all don't get rich, y'all ain't doing nothing. Let me tell you what you are if you don't get rich. You're a poor nigga. What?
Never get nowhere being a poor nigga.
Now I'll tell you what you can do. You can be a super nigga. If you can become a super nigga, now you can have anything you want on this planet. Do you know who defined the super nigga? No, it was not Clifford Black. Come on, talk to me.
Who defined super nigga?
His name was Robert Decoy.
Decoy.
His name was Robert Decoy. He should be on the site. If he's not, send me an email, I'll put him up. All right, what was the book that you all need to find, and to find the book and read the book? What's the name of the book?
The Nigger Bible.
The Nigger Bible. All right? All right. Now understand something. They're going to be hard to find now. You know, I think they're up to $300 now for a paperback.